Hi there. In Altair's Inspire PolyFoam, sometimes you'll want to run a simulation that starts with an open mold and have the mold close during the foaming process. Here's how. First, we'll need to design and designate the foam part and the mold components. We've already done that with this model. Notice that the mold is open. We've also already created the nozzles and designated the materials to be used. When we're happy with our model, it's time to tell PolyFoam to close the mold. Click the process icon on the foaming ribbon. Then, in the Process Parameters window, click the Advanced tab. Now check the Moving Parts checkbox, and then click the Add Moving Parts button. In the Moving Parts window, click the Add Rotation button. Then, click the part that needs to rotate. Right-click and mouse through the arrow to get back to the Moving Parts window. Notice that the yellow rotation axis appears at the center of the part. The mold won't close like that. We need to change the axis that the part will rotate about. We could choose one of the global axes, or move the axis with the Move tool, but instead, we'll use the Select Edge button. Then, we'll select the edge we want. Right-click and mouse through the arrow to exit. Now we need to tell PolyFoam how far to rotate the part. This part must rotate 90 degrees to close the mold, so we'll enter 90 degrees in the angle field. Finally, we'll need to tell PolyFoam when the mold should start closing and when it should finish. The nozzles are going to spend some time injecting foam, so we need to allow for that. We'll enter 4 seconds in the start time field, so the mold will start to close while the nozzles are still adding material. We also need to give the nozzles a moment to get out of the way. We'll enter 4.75 seconds in the end time field. To check that the part will move as we intended, click the Preview button. The part must move in the opposite direction. Let's right-click and mouse through the arrow to exit the preview. Then let's change the angle of rotation to -90 degrees. Let's preview again. Now it's closing properly. Now we'll exit the preview and close the other mold part. This part is going to move in a straight line, so we'll click the Add Displacement button. Select the part, then right-click to exit the part selection context. This part will move straight up and down, so we'll select the Z-axis for the direction. Now PolyFoam needs to know how far to move the mold part to close the mold. We can enter a distance in the distance field if we want, but for our demonstration, we'll use the Pick Points button. Now let's select a point on the mold part that will move. Then we'll select the point that the first point will move to, and exit back to the Moving Parts window. Let's enter the same times for this mold part as the other. Now let's preview to be sure that the mold will close as we expect. We're doing great. Now let's exit back to the Moving Parts window. We may have some overflow after the mold closes, so let's enable the Use Overflow option. PolyFoam automatically generates an overflow box for the excess material to flow into. Now we're ready to run an analysis. We'll exit the Moving Parts window, then click the Run button on the Analyze icon. In the Run Analysis window, we'll click Run. We've selected only a few result types to make the analysis go faster. You can select the results you want to calculate in the preferences. When the analysis is complete, we'll click the green flag to view the results. Now we can run the animation to watch the mold filling and closing in real time. Thanks for watching. Follow Altair How To on YouTube for more tips on getting the most out of Altair's products.